This story kicks off grim and fast. Our main dude's already dead, straight up betrayed in the nastiest way. And just when you think it can't get worse, the snake he called his girl is already cuddled up with the backstabber, basically celebrating on his grave. All this is happening in an apocalyptic world where rules don't exist and people will do anything for scraps of resources. Then we have our MC is chilling inside what looks like the world's biggest server farm. He just got a second shot at life. This time, if he plays his cards right, he's coming for revenge on the clowns who crossed him and the fake girl who betrayed him. Okay, so the world is literally on fire. We've got a helicopter trapped in some kind of energy bubble, hovering over what looks like a volcano erupting in the middle of a city. Things are off to a great start. This is Jiangnan City, and things are feeling a little off. The sky has this intense apocalyptic glow, but the traffic lights are just counting down like nothing's wrong. It's the calm before the storm, and it's super creepy. A bus comes barreling down the street, headlights blazing. Everyone's just trying to get through another day, completely unaware of what's about to hit them. On the bus, the mood is grim. First, it was a massive earthquake and a volcanic eruption. Now people are talking about a full-blown famine, and the panic is starting to set in. And the bad news just keeps rolling in. Entire warehouses are being emptied, and lakes are drying up overnight. You can see the shock on everyone's faces. This is way beyond a few natural disasters. They're talking about the cost of all this, and the numbers are just insane. Someone chimes in, correcting the damages to asterisk tens of trillions cob. The scale of this is just impossible to grasp. But one guy on the bus isn't surprised. He knows this is more than just a string of bad luck, and he cuts through the noise with a simple, terrifying message. The end of the world is coming. Naturally, everyone thinks he's crazy. The end of the world? Are you kidding? But our guy isn't joking. He's seen this all before. He's not just some random doomsayer with glowing purple eyes. He knows that even when the world ends, there's no such thing as equality. This isn't his first rodeo, because he's seen the future, or rather his past, a world in ruins, torn apart by chaos and destruction. He remembers exactly what's at stake. And the stakes are high. We're talking giant, city-devouring monsters with mouths full of people. This is what he's trying to prevent, or at least survive. So who is this guy? In his last life, he was just an ordinary delivery man. Then, a flash of light, and suddenly, he's back. He remembers the hordes of monsters that overran the world. An endless tide of glowing, terrifying creatures. He knows exactly what's coming for them. He remembers fighting for his life, trying to protect his friends from these shadowy monsters. He remembers the fear and the desperation of being totally outmatched. But the monsters weren't the only threat. He remembers a world where a single packet of instant noodles was worth more than a human life, and people became the real monsters. It was a world where people were forced to trade their dignity for a single bite of food. He saw the absolute worst of humanity, and he's not going back. To survive that world, you had to be willing to give up everything. Your morals, your friends, your humanity. This is the world he came from, a world of desperation and exploitation. And he's not gonna let it happen to him again. Not this time, but he got a second chance. He was reborn, sent back to 1 month. Before it all went down. He snapped out of his memories by a touch on his arm. It's someone from the bus. It's a girl, clearly freaked out by all the doomsday talk. She's scared and asks if he can stay with her, but the old him is gone. He's got more important things to do than play bodyguard. He's on a mission, and he can't afford any distractions. He leaves the bus and the rest of the oblivious world behind. He's got a plan, and time is running out. So what's the most important thing in an apocalypse? Is it weapons? A safe place? Our guy has a much simpler answer. His first stop is his old part-time job at a Mr. Hippo supermarket. He might be late for his shift and getting his pay docked, but he's not here for the money. See, in his last life, his boss bailed and left him with nothing when the world ended. This time, he's decided to collect his severance pay in advance, in the form of the entire warehouse's inventory. And how is one guy going to steal an entire warehouse of supplies? With a little something he picked up along the way. He unleashes his power, a personal pocket dimension. With a single command, he opens up a massive spatial storage right in the middle of the warehouse. Rice, oil, meat, everything in the building starts flying off the shelves and into his dimension. It's like the world's most satisfying inventory management system. And just like that, he has his own personal, infinite supermarket. With 100 billion tons of supplies, he's ready. This time, he's not just gonna survive. He's gonna live like a king. So our guy has this wild ability that lets him dip into some kind of personal dimension. And apparently, It's the ultimate cheat code for shopping in the apocalypse. He's feeling pretty good about himself right now, and honestly, who wouldn't be? But you can tell it wasn't always this easy. He's clearly been through some stuff to get here. And just like that, job done. A quick dusting off of the hands, and he's ready for whatever's next. He pulls up his inventory, and yeah, that's a serious haul. We're talking hundreds of bags of rice, cases of water, and even toilet paper. The real apocalyptic gold. With all those supplies secured, he can finally take a breath. That's one less thing to worry about, at least for a little while. But there's no time to relax. Someone's at the door, calling for help, moving all the goods out. Except when they get to the warehouse, it's completely empty. The guys who are supposed to be guarding it are just standing there, totally stunned. Naturally, they're not happy. They immediately corner our guy, demanding to know where a warehouse full of supplies just disappeared to. And he, cool as ever, just straight up admits it. Oh yeah, that was me. I took everything. So our guy just casually reveals he has powers, and everyone else is just processing. The shock is real, and he's clearly enjoying the moment. Okay, so they've moved past shock and straight into pure rage. They are not taking this new development well at all. And with a little smirk, he just dips, leaving the other guy literally spinning. Our protagonist is out, leaving them to deal with their feelings. The guys left behind are completely losing it. They just witnessed the impossible, and their brains are still trying to catch up. He reappears outside in a flash of light. A clean exit, no questions asked. He lands perfectly, like something out of a superhero movie. Just another day at the office when you can bend the rules of physics. Turns out, he's got another trick up his sleeve. It's a short-range teleport called Space Jump, and he's not afraid to use it. This little trick is his key to survival. He can loot abandoned buildings for supplies and get out before any mutant beasts even know he's there. And just like that, he snags what he came for. A quick grab, and the mission is a success. He gets his stuff back, and the bullies get what's coming to them. You love to see it. Just as he's celebrating his win, his phone buzzes. Perfect timing, as always. It's an official government alert trying to calm everyone down. But he knows the truth. The manageable disasters are just the beginning of the end. He's lived through this before, and the memories are flooding back. The official lies just make him more determined. And then, his phone rings again. This time, it's a name he knows all too well. He takes a deep breath. Dealing with the past is never easy, especially when it calls you. It's his ex, Zhang Xiaotian, demanding money while she's clearly busy with someone else. The nerve is honestly impressive. He doesn't have time for this. He's got a world to save, or at least himself. He hangs up. The call brings back memories from his past life. He remembers spending 5 years keeping her alive in the apocalypse, risking everything for her. He did everything for her. But he remembers the betrayal, the moment he was taken down, not by a monster, but by a so-called friend. And his reward for all that sacrifice? The second he's out of the picture, she's already moving on with the guy who just betrayed him. Her words to his killers still echo in his mind. She was cold, calculating, and ready to trade up. He remembers the feeling of it all, the pain, the shock, the realization that he trusted the wrong person completely. He died feeling like a fool. But this time is different. He's not the victim anymore, and he's gonna make sure Wang Hayu and Zhang Xiaotian pay for what they did. He's not just looking for survival this time. He's looking for revenge, and he plans to make them feel every bit of pain he went through, 1,000 times over. The anger is still there, burning just below the surface. He clenches his fist, channeling that rage, but he forces himself to calm down. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and he needs a clear head for what comes next. First things first, he needs money. The end of the world is coming, but capitalism hasn't collapsed just yet. He makes a call to sell off some valuable information he has from the future, but he has one very specific condition. He doesn't want a bank transfer or a check. He wants cash, and he wants it now. So the first stop on his apocalyptic shopping spree is a real estate office. He's here for supplies, but it looks like he's got some unexpected company waiting for him. And yeah, she is not happy. She's been waiting, and she's letting him know it. Meanwhile, her friend in the back is just casually holding a baseball bat, which is never a good sign. But our guy has zero time for this drama. He completely ignores her and keeps walking. That move does not go over well with baseball bat guy, who steps up to block his path. And that was a big mistake. Before the guy can even react, our protagonist makes his move. A flash of energy makes it clear he's not just some random dude. The takedown is brutally efficient. One moment he's being threatened, the next, the guy with the bat is on the floor. Our protagonist did not come here to play games. This is the moment it all went wrong in his first life. His ex, Su Chen, making her choice crystal clear. She doesn't just leave him, she helps the guy who's about to end him. A final push to seal his fate. As she walks away, he's left to die, consumed by a power he can't control. This is the memory that fuels everything he does now. And then there's this guy, Wang Haoyu, the one who actually finished the job. He promised it would be slow, and he wasn't lying. This is how it ended last time. Powerless, betrayed, and choking on his own regret. But that was then. Now he's back with a second chance, and he's not wasting a single second on her. His memories of their relationship aren't exactly rosy. It was always about her demands, her ultimatums. So while they're still stuck in the same old drama, he's already moved on. He's got bigger problems to solve. She thinks he's the same guy she can walk all over. He knows she's just a distraction he can't afford. With the past literally chasing him, he's focused on the mission. First step, get his hands on some serious cash. He finds a buyer for his house, a guy who thinks he's just found an easy mark. The offer's on the table. The buyer sees a quick flip, a few $100,000 in profit. He has no idea he's making the deal of a lifetime. Just not for him. The protagonist doesn't even haggle. He just needs the money, and he needs it now. He leaves the guy with a little warning. In a few weeks, that house won't be worth the land it's built on, if he even dares to live in it. And just like that, the transfer is complete. 700,000 yuan in the bank. With the first bit of cash secured, he walks through a city that still feels safe. People think they're insulated from the chaos happening elsewhere. The government is telling everyone to calm down, that it's all just a series of weird natural disasters. But he knows the truth, and he's not buying it. He's got his first chunk of change, but it's not nearly enough for what's coming. Then he spots an idea, a very, very risky one. He makes the call to a loan shark. He's about to leverage everything he has left for a real shot at survival. This brings him to Hanhai International, home of Great Sea Loans. Not exactly the friendliest place to get a mortgage. The loan sharks are already trying to lowball him. They think he's just another desperate guy in over his head. But he's not desperate, he's determined. And as it turns out, he's not a complete stranger here. And look who it is, Wang Haoyu, the very man who orchestrated his death in his past life, holding his property certificate. Seeing his old enemy doesn't make him flinch. In fact, it just makes him push harder, demanding even more cash on the spot. Wang Haoyu sizes him up and sees a pathetic gambler, an easy target. He agrees to the loan, convinced he's about to fleece a fool. Another notification, another 600,000 yuan in the bank. The plan is working, and his war chest is growing. Meanwhile, Jiang Xiaoqian is having a full-on meltdown. She can't believe he dared to sell her house and is already plotting revenge. Just then, she spots him. The guy who suddenly stopped playing by her rules. They can't believe it's really him. The last time they saw him, he was someone they could push around, but something's clearly different now. But he's not thinking about them. He's thinking about his next move, and it involves a place that he knows for a fact will survive the coming apocalypse, the Green City Hotel. Alright, so the world's about to end, but you wouldn't know it looking at this place. Our guy's next stop is a super high-end hotel. Time to go shopping for the apocalypse. Inside, it's business as usual. He knows that even with the city's main supplies gone, places like this are still fully stocked with food. For now, anyway. The restaurant manager, Liu Xinrui, greets him with a professional smile. She has no idea she's about to get the weirdest catering request of her entire life. And there it is. He doesn't just want a table, he wants to book a massive wedding banquet. The manager is, understandably, a little thrown off, but her surprise quickly turns to dollar signs. She's thinking he must be some secret trust fund kid trying to act casual, and she is ready to make a sale. He lays out the terms, 10 million worth of food, with just a 50,000 deposit. He'll pay the rest in a week, or so he says. She agrees to the deposit, eager to lock down the massive order. He gives his name, Su Chen, sealing the deal. She asks if he's actually getting married, and he just rolls with it. Oh, and while he's at it, he books the presidential suite too. And just like that, he's out the door. Mission accomplished. He can't help but feel a little smug about it. 10 million in food for a 50,000 deposit is a pretty sweet deal, especially when you know the world's about to end. As for the final payment, yeah, that's never happening. Meanwhile, the manager is totally caught up in the romance of it all. a secret rich guy, a huge wedding banquet. She's already picturing the fairy tale. But then she spots two other people, and it's none other than his ex, Zhang Xiaoqian, and her new guy, Wang Haoyu. The manager assumes they must be there for the same wedding party. When the manager mentions Su Chen's name, Zhang Xiaoqian does something completely wild. She claims he's her boyfriend. The manager, now totally confused, tells her that her boyfriend just dropped a fortune on a wedding banquet. You can see the gears turning as she sizes up Zhang Xiaoqian, who is clearly stunned by this news. Both of them are completely floored. 10 million? There's no way the broke Su Chen they know could afford something like that. The manager just smirks, thinking she's figured it all out. It's the classic story. A rich guy pretends to be poor to test his girlfriend, then reveals it all on the wedding day. Zhang Xiaoqian starts wondering if this is why he's been so distant lately. Wang Haoyu, on the other hand, is just pissed, trying to figure out how Su Chen could possibly have this kind of cash. And just like that, her mind is racing with fantasies of a lavish life with a secret billionaire. But while she's dreaming of sports cars and five-star hotels, Wang Haoyu is stewing next to her, clearly not sharing the fantasy. He gets a little too handsy, and she immediately shuts him down. Her thoughts are clearly on bigger and better things now. She's completely lost in a daydream, imagining herself as a queen on a throne. The thought of all that money has totally changed her perspective, and she's already picturing a future that doesn't include the guy sitting next to her. Okay, reality check. After selling his house and taking out a massive loan, he's still short on cash. To survive the apocalypse, you need capital, and he's burning through it fast. But our guy has a plan B, and it's a little unconventional. If the world's ending anyway, who's gonna come collect on a few online loans? It's time to game the system. And he's not thinking small. He downloads over 80 different loan apps, ready for the most tedious selfie marathon of his life. Anything to get that sweet, sweet pre-apocalypse cash. 1 selfie, 2 selfies, 30 selfies. He's working the angles, giving them his best please give me money face. It's a grind, but every click gets him closer to his goal. And there it is, the number he's been waiting for. Nearly 1 million yuan hits his account, and you can almost feel the relief. He finally did it. Almost 1 million in loans. But just as he's celebrating, a new thought hits him. The money is just the first step. There's no time to relax. With the funds secured, the real work begins. He's got a shopping list a mile long, and the clock is ticking. He's not just stocking up on canned goods. He's thinking bigger. Fireplaces, industrial ice makers, things you can't just grab at the local supermarket. Good thing there's next day delivery, because he knows what's coming. First, the world will burn in an extreme heat wave, then it'll freeze in a devastating winter. Survival depends on being ready for both. First up on the shopping list, fuel. He makes the call, straight to the point. He needs to know the price of smokeless coal, and he needs a lot of it. He doesn't haggle. 2,000 tons of coal, with a 500,000 yuan deposit paid up front. This isn't a hobby, it's an investment in his future. Next on the list, ice. He's not just buying bags from the gas station, he's going straight to the source. He sets up a meeting at the local ice factory. Just when he's on a roll, a voice from the past calls out. Someone recognizes him. An unexpected complication, right when he can't afford any. And of course it's her. Zhang Xiaoqian, his ex-girlfriend, the one who sold him out in his last life. She says she misses him, but he knows better. He doesn't miss a beat, cutting right through the fake pleasantries. He knows exactly what she wants, and it has nothing to do with him. Her friend jumps in to do some damage control, trying to guilt trip him. Apparently, he's the one who's being clueless and insensitive. Yeah, right. Xiaoqian switches tactics, playing the damsel in distress. She's not feeling well, she's sorry. Can you please just walk with her? The manipulation is almost impressive, but this isn't the same guy she knew. He shuts her down cold. He's got things to do, and she's not on the list. They're left completely stunned. The guy they thought they could easily manipulate just walked away without a second glance. This was not part of their plan. With that drama handled, he's back to business. He arrives at the Manhwa ice factory, ready to make a deal. The owner is already waiting for him. The factory owner, Mr. Wu, is surprised to see how young his new client is. But Su Chen isn't here for small talk. He's here to talk numbers and deadlines. Mr. Wu loves to talk up his factory's efficiency, but Su Chen is only interested in one thing: how fast they can deliver. He needs his supplies, and he needs them now. The deal is struck right there on the sidewalk. 100,000 yuan is transferred as a deposit. The clock is now officially ticking on a massive ice delivery. Mr. Wu is seeing dollar signs. He's so thrilled with the easy money that he's already fishing for future business, completely baffled by why anyone would need this much ice. So what's the big plan? Su Chen gives him a perfectly straight-faced, ridiculous answer about donating it to charity. The look on Mr. Wu's face is priceless. As he drives off, Mr. Wu is still trying to process what just happened. An 800,000 yuan deal, closed in minutes by some kid. He's never seen anything like it. Just as he's catching his breath, another taxi pulls up. Mr. Wu can't believe it. Is another walk-in client here to make a massive, unannounced deal? But it's not a new client. It's the girls from before, and they've followed him. Now one of them is claiming to be Su Chen's fiancé, and she wants to know what they were talking about. Mr. Wu thinks they're playing some kind of weird game until he casually mentions the 800,000 yuan ice order. Suddenly, their jaws are on the floor. The broke loser they knew is making moves they can't even comprehend. Meanwhile, our protagonist's recent shopping spree is already making waves. His assistant is trying to figure out why he'd need a literal mountain of ice. And she's not the only one asking questions. The official story? It's all for charity. A massive, completely unbelievable donation to the desert. Yeah, that's what they thought too. Donating ice to a desert sounds less like charity and more like a punchline. But our guy isn't worried about what people think. He's got cash, he's got a plan, and he's got a reservation. Time to enjoy the last days of civilization in style. This isn't just about a good meal. In his last life, he was too busy just trying to survive to even dream of a place like this. Now, he's making up for lost time, and he's not holding back. When you know the world's financial system is about to become obsolete, a 4-figure dinner bill doesn't seem so bad. But even for a guy who knows the future, some things don't make sense. Like, what kind of restaurant sells a question mark for 17,000 yuan? Turns out, it's the chef's special, a surprise dish designed just for the customer. Intrigued, he decides to roll the dice. This reminds him of something from his past life, a book of ancient myths that turned out to be terrifyingly real. The dish arrives, and it's familiar, like a creature straight out of those ancient texts. And the chef who made it is about to trigger a major memory. She introduces herself as the head chef, claiming the dish is tailored to his temperament. He's not so sure it's that simple, and then it clicks. He knows her. He knows exactly who she is. Duan Ya, the legendary Hell's Chef. In the last apocalypse, she was a legend with a terrifying gift, the power to turn rot and decay into irresistible food. A power that made her one of the most dangerous people on the planet. Back in the present, she's just a charming chef, teasing him about being scared of her cooking. If only he could tell her what he really knows. He has to admit, the food is incredible, but his mind is already in the future, wondering if he could ever trust a woman like her when things get bad. Probably not. Outside, life goes on, complete with petty annoyances like mosquito bites. But some people seem to be having a much better night than others. Next stop, the Aryaskin's Bar. In Chengdu, they call it the Golden Sales Vault, a place where serious money changes hands. The local gossip is that some rich kid just blew 2 million without even getting what he came for. In a place like this, that's just another Tuesday. And speaking of rich kids, our protagonist has arrived. He's barely through the door before he's the center of attention. But he's not here for the party. He's playing a different game, and he's not easily distracted. His friends, meanwhile, are focused on helping their friend Yun get over a bad breakup. Their solution involves a lot of alcohol and some questionable peer pressure. He watches, thinking about how a little push can change a person's entire life. He's seen it happen before, on a much, much larger scale. And just like that, she goes for it. Bottoms up, even he's a little surprised by her sudden resolve. Having found her courage at the bottom of a glass, Yun decides to shoot her shot, but her bold move takes a strange turn. Suddenly, she seems to be in distress, and what started as a simple question gets complicated, fast. She leans in, asking if he's willing. For the first time tonight, our protagonist actually looks a little thrown off. Her friends are in the background, cheering her on. To them, this is just a girl getting back at her cheating ex in the best way possible. But while her friends are freaking out, Su Chen is the calmest person in the room. He's seen far worse than a messy rebound. He takes control, but not in the way she expects. Deciding this has gone on long enough, he leads her out of the room, leaving everyone else completely stunned. Our guy, Su Chen, leads his date up the stairs, hand in hand. The mood is set, the lighting is dramatic, and it looks like he's about to make his move. But just as things are getting interesting, some old friends show up, They're yelling for him to stop, but he's clearly got other plans. He doesn't even hesitate, just pulls the woman into a private room. Whatever his friends wanted, it's gonna have to wait. He shuts the door behind them. Click. They're finally alone. Inside, he's got her against the wall, but look at his face. He's not into it. He just seems annoyed by the interruption outside. And then she drops a bombshell. This is her first time. Suddenly, the whole vibe changes, and even Su Chen seems a little thrown off. So what does our hero do? He flicks her on the forehead and tells her to snap out of it. He thinks she's just drunk, but it definitely doesn't have the intended effect. He decides to just bail, leaving her crying in the room. But as he walks away, he runs right into the two girls from before, realizing his night is officially ruined. Back in the present, I'm getting my apocalypse shopping done. And look who decided to show up. My ex, Jiang Xiaoqian. She has no idea what's really going on. Her friends already got wedding bells in her head. They really think all this is for some grand proposal to make her a rich lady. She shows up expecting a prince on a white horse. Instead, she gets me, surrounded by a mountain of cardboard boxes. The look on her face is priceless, so I tell her this is all a test to see if she's worthy. And believe it or not, she actually starts hauling boxes. Anything for the money, I guess. She's really putting her back into it, all while dreaming of my non-existent fortune. The things people will do when they think there's a big payday waiting. Even her friend decides to help out, probably hoping for a cut of the action. They're so predictable, it's almost sad. Hey, I'm not gonna say no to free labor. Moving 2,000 tons of ice and 1,000 tables of food is a serious grind, and these two are nothing if not motivated. Finally, after a full day of work, everything's moved into my new place. They think they've passed the test. Of course, the second they're done, the complaining starts. She's already plotting how to get her hands on all my money. Pray, good luck with that. Looks like manual labor doesn't really agree with her. She's completely wiped out. Her friend isn't doing much better. They're both starting to realize this test was maybe a little too real. Okay, show's over. Where are the wealthy guests? They're getting hangry and impatient, waiting for the big reveal that's never coming. First, I take care of the people who actually did the work. A nice cash bonus for the delivery crew. Their reaction is pretty great. Yeah, they're happy. It's called appreciating hard work. Maybe my ex should take some notes. And now for the main event. She's finally cornering me, probably about to ask why she's not wearing a diamond ring yet. It's time to drop the bomb. I can see the exact moment the gears start turning in her head and the panic sets in. I just lay it all out for her. The house is sold, I'm broke, drowning in debt, so I ask her, would you still be willing to be with me now? Let's see how she answers that one. And there it is. Total disbelief. She can't wrap her head around it, listing off all the money I supposedly spent. I give her a nice little cover story about a charity project for some mysterious big boss. It's not a total lie. I am the boss after all. The truth is starting to sink in. All that work, all that dreaming, for nothing. She completely loses it, calling me a liar and a scoundrel. She's finally showing her true colors. I never said I was a rich heir. She just assumed. She's the one who built this whole fantasy in her head. Honestly, who has time for a gold digger like her when the world is about to end? Some people have their priorities all wrong. Yeah, she's not taken that well. But hey, if the shoe fits, I leave them to their little tantrum. I've got more important things to do, like locking down my apocalypse bunker. And with that, the past is officially locked out. Time to focus on surviving the future. All the supplies are in place. Now I just have to wait for the end of the world to begin. Let them come. And for the final piece of the puzzle, my own personal pocket dimension. Time to get everything organized. The night kicks off with a mysterious vibe. We're at a secluded house with glowing windows and a strange humming sound fills the air. Meanwhile, at the Green City Hotel, everything seems calm and quiet. But in this world, calm is usually just the quiet before the storm. And here we meet the new crew. A loudmouth loan shark is making a scene with our protagonist's ex, Jiang Xiaoqian, right there with him. Turns out this guy has some strong opinions about her love life. He's telling her she should have dumped our hero ages ago and gotten with him instead. Real subtle. He promises to get his big brother to take care of our guy. She looks upset on the outside, but you can tell she's all for it. Classic Xiaoqian. Speak of the devil. Our protagonist is just trying to enjoy a nice meal when he gets spotted. And let's just say she is not happy to see him. The guy she's with completely loses it. He starts screaming and pointing, calling for his big brother to come deal with things. So much for a quiet dinner. And here comes Big Brother, looking like he's ready for a fight. He recognizes our hero. and he does not look friendly. What a coincidence. The loan shark was already planning to hunt him down for some money he owes. Looks like fate decided to speed things up. And now we get the full story. Our guy mortgaged his house to these sharks, and the payment is due tomorrow. They're already planning how to save his property. Su Chen and her friend are just loving this drama from the sidelines. They're already writing him off, glad they're not involved with the Burke's loser who's about to lose everything. Through all of this, our guy is just annoyed. He just wanted to finish his steak. Can't a man enjoy a good meal in peace? But peace is the last thing on the menu tonight. The loan shark gets right in his face, furious that he's spending money at a hotel instead of saving up for repayment. Our hero seems completely unfazed though. The lackey is done talking. He's screaming for them to just take our guy out right now. A hotel manager tries to play mediator and calm everyone down, but it's way too late for that. The boss lays it all out. Pay up now, with interest, or else. And the or else part doesn't sound great. The manager is freaking out, but our hero is as cool as ever. He just dismisses the whole crew as a few pests. That's some serious confidence. And that's the last straw. The loan shark absolutely explodes, declaring that today is the day our hero is finished, and no one can save him. But just as things are about to get bloody, a new crew walks in, and their leader looks even more dangerous than the guys they're interrupting. This is Gao Cheng. And from the look on his face, he is not happy about something. Suddenly, the big, bad loan shark looks terrified. The name, Gao Cheng, clearly means something, and it's not good news for him. He tries to play it cool, but Gao Cheng isn't having it. He's here on important business and tells the loan sharks to get lost. So who is this guy? Gao Cheng is a major player, with one foot in the boardroom and the other in the underworld. Basically, he's the last person you want to get on the wrong side of. Our protagonist knows exactly who he is. In his past life, Gao Cheng was known as the Skull Crusher, one of the most powerful and ruthless figures of the apocalypse. And then it all clicks. He remembers a key detail from the future. This very hotel is ground zero for the first wave of monstrous mutations. While Gao Cheng is still trying to figure out what's going on, our hero makes his play. With his power flaring, he declares that he's taking over the entire hotel. Tonight, Gao Cheng, the Skull Crusher himself, is taken by surprise. He has no idea who this kid is, but he's about to find out. Alright, scene change. We've got a mysterious meeting about to go down between some very different people. This is Mr. Sun's right-hand man, and he's laying the charm on thick for a woman named Duan Ya. But that smile? It's giving major bad vibes. Duan Ya isn't buying the act though. She's trying to figure out what this powerful Mr. Sun actually wants from her. Meanwhile, the real Mr. Sun finally makes his appearance, and he's all compliments. He's heard she's a peri, great beauty, and is just so happy to finally meet her. And here he is, the man himself. Mr. Sun looks exactly like the kind of guy who thinks he runs the city, offering a drink you can't refuse. But one look at the drink, and Duan Ya knows something is very, very wrong. That is definitely not just wine. Okay, let's jump back to our protagonist. He's remembering his past life, hiding in a basement with his ex, Jiang Shaoqian, just to survive. The irony is, in this new life, he tried to ditch her, but somehow she's managed to track him down to this exact spot. But he's not running this time. In fact, he sees this as the perfect chance to finally settle some old scores. Elsewhere, some other guys are just trying to enjoy a night swim. They're noticing it's getting weirdly hot out, even for the evening. Totally oblivious, they're just goofing off and getting hyped for their swim. Just a couple of bros having a good time. Looks like it's a whole party. People are holding hands and laughing, all under this big, weirdly purple moon. Our guy is watching all this unfold from his window, and he knows this, love, is about to get real explosive real fast, and there it is. The moon turns blood red, and suddenly the moonlight is literally burning everyone alive. The party is definitely over. Back inside, a different group is just trying to play some cards. They notice the crazy bright light, but just brush it off, more worried about their friend who's outside. Suddenly, the partygoers from outside crash through the door. They're desperately trying to escape the burning moonlight, and they look like they're in agony. The card players are stunned, wondering what the hell is going on, except for one guy who is impressively focused on his hand and completely missing the chaos. It's pure chaos as the newcomers scream about how hot it is. They're literally melting, and they're desperate for any relief. And then they see it, a fish tank. In their desperation, even a tiny aquarium looks like salvation. Without a second thought, they all pile into the tiny aquarium. It's a frantic, messy scramble for a few gallons of water. The original occupants of the room are just trying to process what they just saw. Their friends are getting cooked alive, and they're completely powerless. One of them is losing it, screaming for his brother who is caught outside. The panic is really setting in now, and here's the brother, stumbling in from outside. He's covered in horrible burns and can barely ask for help before he collapses. It's just pure panic. People are screaming for burn cream while someone curses out a guy named Xiaoyu who's apologizing for something. Meanwhile, back at the other party, Mr. Sun and his crew hear the commotion, but he just dismisses it as young people having fun. His assistant tries to get things back on track, offering to start the banquet. He's trying to keep the boss happy, even with screams in the background. But Mr. Sun is pissed. He's not mad about the chaos. He's mad because our protagonist, who just walked in, dared to refuse his wine. Duanya is furious, but not at Mr. Sun. She's mad at our guy for showing up and making a scene, putting her in an even worse spot. Now she's stuck holding this drink she knows is bad news. She can't drink it, but with Mr. Sun watching, she has no idea how to get out of this. Meanwhile, the rest of the city is just falling apart. You can practically hear the chaos as everything grinds to a halt. And in the middle of it all, you've got people like her, just casually sipping wine while everyone else is literally screaming in agony. The apocalypse isn't just monsters and earthquakes. Suddenly, the sun itself feels like it's trying to burn the world down. Yeah, you could say something's a bit off. People are starting to realize this isn't just a weird weather day. Panic is officially setting in. While some people are trying to keep order, most are just worried about their money, completely oblivious to the real danger. Even the guys in charge are getting caught up in the mess, but it seems like they're more annoyed by the inconvenience than the actual end of the world. You can see the tension rising. These guys look like they're in way over their heads, and they're just starting to figure it out. And it's not just the weather. People are getting sick fast. This guy, Brother Hai, looks like he's literally melting. But even while he's in agony, he's trying to play it cool and keep his crew together. He's sending someone named Xiao Dao to come get them. And here's Xiao Dao, their ride. He's in the garage, noticing the weird heat, but he has no idea what he's about to drive into. He gets in his car and, wait, why is it suddenly daytime? The laws of physics are officially taking a vacation. He tries to drive off, but the world has other plans. Something stops him dead in his tracks. He manages to get the van moving, but this is no ordinary drive. Something is seriously wrong here. And there it is, the heat is so intense, it literally blew out all 4 tires. You can't even drive a car in this new world. So much for the getaway plan. Xiao Dao is stranded and panicking, trying to tell his boss that they're officially stuck. But before he can even finish the call, someone else shows up, and they are not here to help. He gets taken down hard. And the thing that attacked him, well, this is what the apocalypse really looks like. Yeah, that's about the only reaction you can have. Absolute pure terror. The shock is so intense, it's practically frying his brain. And of course, that's when his boss decides to call back. Thanks to the video call, the whole crew gets a front row seat to the horror show. Their only way out is gone, and they're watching him die. And just like that, the chaos starts to spread. A call from Brother Hai shows up somewhere else, bringing the problem to a whole new person. Back with Brother Hai's crew, they're desperately trying to reach their friend. But Xiao Dao is not going to be picking up. Meanwhile, our protagonist isn't worried about the heat. He's got the AC cranked, perfectly comfortable. This is his fortress. While the world burns, he's safe and sound in a luxury bunker he prepared. He knows what's coming, so there's no panic. Just a good night's sleep before the real fun begins. Completely unfazed by the chaos unfolding outside, he's playing the long game, but even in his sleep, the past haunts him with the cries of those he couldn't or wouldn't save. This time, he's ready to make the hard choices because he's not a victim anymore. He's the one in control now. See, he's lived through this before. In his first life, the world didn't just end, it burned. The power grid was the first thing to go, turning entire cities into ovens. Massive explosions took out all infrastructure, and with it, any hope of calling for help. Meanwhile, others are starting to feel the heat, literally. They're quickly realizing their friends aren't picking up the phone anymore. The AC is out, the power is gone, and this group is starting to lose their cool. They're trapped and getting desperate. With no electricity and no way out, their patience is running dangerously thin. The heat is making everyone a little crazy. The room is turning into a sauna, and they're starting to cook. They need a plan, and they need it now. And then, an idea. They remember someone who's probably doing just fine, Su Chen. in his fancy presidential suite with a private pool. They're not wrong. While the rest of the city melts, Su Chen is living his best life because he knew exactly what was coming. The citywide blackout was no surprise to him. He knew everyone connected to the grid would be left in the dark, but his preparations go deeper than just survival. The scars from his past life are a constant reminder of what and who he's fighting for. Every choice was deliberate. This room with its own pool wasn't luck. It was step 1 of the plan. Step 2, bring your own power grid. Backup batteries and industrial-grade AC units mean he's chilling while the world burns. And when that's not enough to beat the apocalyptic heat wave, he just makes his own ice. As you do. Yeah, much better. This is how you ride out the end of the world in style. Of course, all this surviving works up an appetite. Even apocalypse gods get hungry. Luckily, when you've got a personal dimensional storage space, takeout is always an option. He's got warehouses full of supplies just a thought away. Time to finally enjoy the fruits, or in this case, the metric ton of rice, of his labor. But of course, the party's about to be crashed. His desperate, overheated neighbors have found his little oasis. He's not exactly going to roll out the welcome mat. He opens the door, and the temperature instantly drops. The blast of cold air is the first shock. They went from an oven to a walk-in freezer in a split second. And then they see him. Calm, cool, and not at all happy to have company. They see the AC, the lights, the comfort. It's paradise, and they want in. Their desperation quickly turns to entitlement. Why should he have all this when they're suffering right outside his door? The leader of the pack steps up, claiming Su Chen owes him money. He wants the room as payment, with interest. He's clearly not in a position to be making demands. But he takes another step forward anyway. Big mistake. Su Chen doesn't do negotiations with thugs who are about to melt into the floor. The guy has no idea what just hit him. He is completely, totally out of his league. And just to make the point crystal clear, he pulls out a gun. The time for talking is over. Suddenly they get it. This isn't some lucky rich kid. He's a survivor, and he's way more dangerous than the apocalypse outside. So the big guy finally taps out. His crew can only watch, completely stunned that their muscle just got shut down. But just winning isn't enough for him. He puts a bullet in the guy's leg to send a message. He's not here to play games. He gives them a simple choice. Get out of his sight by the count of 3. And that glowing aura? Yeah, that says he's not bluffing. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the hotel, the apocalypse is hitting a little differently. A group of very angry, very muscular guys are realizing the food has run out, and they are not taking it well. The social contract is officially out the window. Some guys are literally pouring out water just to flex, while a desperate crowd gets pushed back by the new muscle in charge. Remember that blood red moon? This is the fallout. People are getting sick, breaking out in these painful sores, and the panic is really starting to set in. And then, the big secret gets out. Someone discovers that while the rest of the hotel is falling apart, our guy is living it up with electricity, AC, and even a swimming pool. This is about to get messy. That kind of news doesn't stay secret for long. A hot, sweaty, and very angry mob starts to form, demanding answers and their share of the good life. And right on cue, the mob arrives at his door. He opens the door, and a wave of cool, misty air pours out into the hallway. He looks at the angry, sweating crowd and asks, "Is something wrong?" The crowd pleads with him, desperate for any relief from the suffocating heat. And what's on our protagonist's mind while they beg for their lives? Fried chicken. And yep, there it is, a glorious steaming hot bowl of fried chicken, fries, and onion rings waiting for him inside. The smell of fresh food hits the desperate crowd, and it's more than some can handle. A little kid just loses it, screaming for a piece of that chicken. And in his desperation, the kid makes a break for it, dashing past the crowd towards the room. But the protagonist isn't running a charity here. Before the kid can even get close, he's sent flying backwards by some kind of invisible force. The boy's mother screams in horror. Attacking a hungry kid? That's a line you just don't cross. But he's completely unfazed. He looks the crowd dead in the eye and tells them to control their kids, or he'll be happy to do it for them. That was the absolute wrong thing to say. The crowd's fear finally boils over into pure rage, and the entire mob charges. But he doesn't even flinch. He just unleashes this blindingly powerful beam of energy, cutting a path straight through the charging mob. In an instant, it's over. The survivors are left standing in total shock, realizing the kind of power they just tried to challenge. One of the attackers is just gone. Smoke rises from his body as his friends stare, completely broken by what they just witnessed. Surrounded by that intense purple aura, he levels his gun and makes it crystal clear. He may be alone, but he's reminding them they only have one life to lose. And that's where we'll leave it for now. The author is literally on their knees, begging you to stick around for what comes next. Meanwhile, Wang, screaming in agony as his body literally starts to burn from the inside out. This guy is having a particularly bad day. And he's decided it's all Su Chen's fault. You can kind of feel the history there. And then there's Jiang Qian, Su Chen's ex. She's comforting her friend, but the vibe is off. She's clearly working an angle, trying to manipulate the situation. Right on cue, Su Chen appears at the door. He's got this little smirk, like he knows exactly what they're thinking. He invites them in with a casual, almost mocking comment about their sisterly love. They're just so relieved. They genuinely think he's a good guy who's come to save them. Oh, if they only knew. But their reunion is cut short when Wang Haoyu makes his move. Blinded by rage, he lunges, screaming that he's going to kill Su Chen. Su Chen doesn't even flinch. With a flick of his wrist, he sends the attackers flying. It's not even a fight, it's a statement. He's not here to save everyone. One of the women is forced towards a separate room, and the other two can only watch in horror as they realize Su Chen's sanctuary has rules. His message is simple and cold. If you're not with him, you're in his way, and he tells them exactly where to go. Suddenly, a different voice. Someone spots Zhang Xiaojian collapsed in the hallway. She's been left behind. Su Chen just watches. No panic, no surprise. He's just processing, putting the pieces together for what comes next. And what comes next is an automated turret. A notification pops up. You killed. It seems Su Chen's defenses are working exactly as planned. Just as things settle, the sound of heavy machinery echoes outside. Something big is on its way, and it's moving fast. An armored vehicle pulls up, and soldiers in full hazmat gear emerge. For a second, the survivors think they're saved. They think it's the rescue team. But this isn't a rescue mission for the masses. The soldiers are looking for one person and one person only, Su Chen. The crowd erupts in celebration, thinking this is their ticket out. But a few people notice something's not right. The soldiers aren't here for them. A wealthy businessman tries to buy his way onto the evac list, offering $1 billion for a suit. It's pure desperation, but these soldiers can't be bought. Their mission is specific. They're extracting high-value individuals, scientists, experts, and a few other key assets. Among those assets, a group of seriously tough-looking guys. This extraction team is building a very particular kind of roster. Seeing her chance to escape slipping away, Zhang Xiaotian starts screaming to the soldiers. She tells them not to trust Su Chen, that he's a monster. The lead soldier, Xiaofeng, makes a call. He decides to bring Su Chen along, against the warnings. He sees value in him. But Su Chen has his own plans, revealing a hidden rifle. At the same time, we see Jiang Xiaoqian's true colors, a sinister smile and glowing eyes. The betrayal is clicking into place. Back with the soldiers, Xiaofeng suddenly realizes something is wrong. He's on high alert, sensing a trap. And there it is, a hidden camera tucked away in a potted plant. They've been bugged this entire time. Before he can react, a device is thrown into the room. It's an ambush. Xiaofeng is caught completely by surprise, but Su Chen isn't. In a flash of golden light, he activates his power, moving faster than the eye can see. The device goes off, unleashing a wave of energy. It's a flashbang, designed to disorient and disable. The soldiers are hit hard, blinded and choking on gas, just as a shadowy figure moves in for the attack. A metal rod cuts through the air, aimed right at the incapacitated soldiers. The trap has been sprung. So this guy wakes up, totally confused, staring down the barrel of a rifle. Not exactly the best way to start your day in the apocalypse. Meanwhile, our protagonist, Su Chen, is playing interrogator. He's got this soldier tied up and wants to know where he got his hands on some serious hardware. The soldier can't believe what he's hearing. But Su Chen is just not having it. He's basically like, believe it or not, dude, that's your problem. Getting desperate, the captive starts asking about the government's plan. He's hoping there's some official safe zone, some kind of organized rescue. But Su Chen knows the truth. While the government sets up rescue points, he remembers what really happens. People just drop, burned alive by the blood-red moon. And here's the government's brilliant plan. You're on your own, and maybe a heavy blanket will save you from a cosmic death ray. Spoiler alert, it won't. Su Chen confirms this is the official story being fed to the public. The soldier is shocked, realizing just how screwed everyone is. And just when you think the interrogation is over, Su Chen presses a gun to his head. He's not done with him yet. The guy starts pleading for his life, but not in the way you'd expect. He just wants to get a message out, a warning about the blankets that might save a few people. Plot twist. Su Chen isn't a killer, at least not today. He slices the ropes, deciding to let the soldier go. But he makes it crystal clear, this is a one-time deal. He respects the guy's intentions, but his patience has a limit. He tells him to look up, to see what's really going on. Because there's something way scarier than a gun pointed at your head. And that something is a military-grade surveillance turret with facial recognition and machine guns. Just a little something Su Chen has set up in his living room. He casually mentions he got it from the Middle East. And if it turns on, everyone in the room is dead, except him, of course. Su Chen knows the soldier has his own mission. He's basically saying, you've got your own fires to put out, so maybe don't start one with me. The message gets through loud and clear. The soldier gets it. He's outmatched, outplayed, and it's time to walk away. Upstairs, the neighbors are watching all this go down from their apartment. They can't believe the soldier just packed up and left. They notice he only passed on the blanket tip. He conveniently left out the part about the guy downstairs with an automated death turret. Then comes the real kicker. The soldier was disarmed. Su Chen took all his weapons before letting him walk. Meanwhile, in another part of the building, things are getting heated. A local gang boss is losing his cool over the chaos. One of his guys suggests asking Su Chen for help, and the boss immediately shuts that down with his fist. Apparently, he's not a fan. The boss is furious that Su Chen is living it up in his apocalypse-proof suite while they're all suffering. He sees it as a total sign of disrespect. Suddenly, there's a flash of light, a moment of intense energy. The whole room just freezes. Because Su Chen has decided to pay them a visit, and he does not look happy. The crew is ready to throw down, but they have no idea who they're dealing with. Instead of fighting, Su Chen makes a power move. He just dumps out a pile of glowing crystals, and the room goes silent as the boss and his tough guys stare in terror. So these guys break into a room and find ice cubes? One of them is not having a good time, but his friend sees an opportunity. He's ready to go from thief to murderer real quick for more supplies. And just like that, the "let's kill him" suggestion gets very real. The guy's so-called big brother has a rifle pointed right at his face. Things escalated from 0 to 100, but then the boss steps in, trying to smooth things over. He calls out Su Chen by name, basically telling him to ignore the guy with the gun so they can get back to business. Someone just found a glowing blue gem, and they are absolutely losing their mind over it. You can just feel the jackpot energy coming off the page. Whatever those blue things do, it's clearly working. These guys look like they're in absolute bliss, like they just got a hit of pure, unadulterated relief. The good vibes do not last long. Suddenly, it's a full-on brawl with glowing red eyes and what looks like a seriously broken leg. The whole room just erupts into chaos. This is the face of someone pushing past their limits. The red eyes, the grimace. He's channeling some serious power right now. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew is not doing so hot. They're sweating buckets, almost out of food, and clearly starting to lose hope. We meet Duanya, who's apparently dealing with some serious heat, but she's keeping her jacket on, and someone's making a point to notice. Duanya is clearly not happy about the attention. She's huddled by herself, radiating pure anger and frustration. The creepy comments quickly escalate to physical assault. This guy grabs her wrist, making it very clear he has no intention of taking no for an answer. But she's not going down without a fight. She shoves him back with a burst of energy, refusing to be a victim. Her resistance only makes him angrier. He doubles down with a disgusting threat, ready to assault her in front of everyone. He douses her with water, trying to humiliate her into submission. But her expression isn't fear. It's pure, unadulterated rage. Suddenly, a new voice cuts in, telling the attacker, Mr. Sun, to back off. Behind him, a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes seems to be the real power in the room. Mr. Sun doesn't take the interruption well. He looks absolutely unhinged, screaming that he's the boss and he'll kill anyone who gets in his way. And in a flash, it's over. The men who were just posturing are now on the ground, defeated. Mr. Sun realizes he messed with the wrong person. From a balcony above, Su Chen watches the whole thing unfold. He's been observing this whole time, completely calm and in control. Su Chen is in his own head, realizing his plan is working. He knows this guy was a boss in his past life, and he's thinking about how to use that future knowledge to his advantage. With the immediate threat neutralized, the other guys are just floating, It looks like they're being absorbed or transformed by whatever is in this strange pool. Now that the old boss is gone, everyone else is desperate for a piece of the action. These women are on their knees, begging the new guy in charge for anything he can spare. The new leader, who seems to be Su Chen, takes a moment to cool off. He's established his dominance, and now he's in charge of all the supplies. He's not exactly generous, though. He tosses them a single thermos, telling them to fight over it themselves. As the women fight over scraps, the men talk strategy. It's a cold world, and the only rule is that the strong get to eat. Some of the survivors manage to get out, wrapped in blankets and looking shell-shocked. They're relieved to escape, but they've barely eaten in days and are running on fumes. Back inside, things are getting tense again. One of the women confronts a guy, demanding to know what they're up to, but he just plays dumb. He gets aggressive, tearing her skirt and trying to use her past desperation against her. She's terrified, realizing she's trapped with a predator. Meanwhile, another group is starving. Their supplies have been cut off, and they're getting desperate enough to risk it all. The choice is simple: stay in the hotel and die of thirst, or risk the outside world for a slim chance of survival. It's a gamble, but it's the only one they have. The crew finally makes a break for it, but the outside is a literal furnace. They're wrapped up like mummies, but the ground is so hot it's burning right through their shoes. The world is ending, but some people have more immediate problems, like being tied up. A quick tap of the foot though, and it looks like that's about to change. Outside, it's pure chaos. People are scrambling to find shelter from the strange new weather, carrying whoever they can. But the real danger isn't the quakes or the storms. It's the blood-red moon. One look at its light and you just melt. Su Chen has seen all this before. He knows that in this new world, you can't afford to save anyone but yourself. The streets become a graveyard in minutes. A symphony of beautiful, deadly light that leaves nothing but ashes behind. Even the toughest guys out there are no match for whatever this is. They're just a couple of smoking craters on the floor now. And for some, the change is even more dramatic. This is what happens when you lose your humanity to the chaos. In his past life, Su Chen made the mistake of trying to be a hero. He remembers how many people died from simple mistakes, a lesson he won't forget this time around. From the safety of his fortress, he watches the world burn. The desperate screams are just background noise to him now. The apocalypse isn't just one thing, it's everything, all at once. Monsters, mutations, and pure, unfiltered terror. And just when you think it can't get any worse, the big guys show up. The real monsters are here. Of course, some people can't let go of old grudges. Even at the end of the world, they're still trying to settle scores. Getting caught in the middle of that is a bad idea. A really, really bad idea. Meanwhile, Wang Haoyu's crew is having a rough time. Turns out, fighting monsters has some nasty side effects, like spontaneously combusting. But while everyone else is panicking, Su Chen makes his entrance, cool, calm, and ready for what's next. He's the only one not running away from the monsters. He's running towards them, sword in hand. Wang Haoyu, the lone shark Su Chen scammed, sees an opportunity. He's happy to let Su Chen be the hero and clear out the monsters, so he can take him out right after. But Su Chen isn't a hero, he's a survivor. He knows that in this world, everything and everyone is just a resource waiting to be collected. Species, monsters, demons, are the new top of the food chain. They're big, mean, and have a nasty habit of showing up when you least expect it. See, in his past life, Su Chen was betrayed and left for dead by the people he trusted most. This time around, he's not making the same mistake. The demons are fast and furious, but our guy is faster. He knows their every move before they even make it. In the middle of the chaos, another survivor, Gao Cheng, spots his chance. It's a high-risk, high-reward kind of moment. He takes it, slicing the demon clean in half and claiming his prize. This is a crystal nucleus, the key to unlocking superhuman abilities. With newfound power comes a whole new level of confidence. He's not just surviving anymore, he's starting to dominate. Every move is precise, powerful, and aimed to end the fight quickly. This is what it takes to stay alive now. The once terrifying monster is brought to its knees, completely overwhelmed. The balance of power has officially shifted. And with a final taunt, he leaves his enemies in the dust, seething with rage. Lesson learned: don't pick a fight you can't win. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, desperation is setting in hard. Some people are losing their humanity, and they're losing it fast. When survival is on the line, alliances break down in the most brutal ways. It's a free-for-all, and the weakest are the first to go. The group turns on itself in a violent clash of power and desperation. Not everyone is going to make it out of this room. So about these crystal nuclei, there are super rare drops from monsters that can literally rewrite your DNA if you're lucky enough to find one. The instructions are simple enough. Clean it and swallow it whole. Easy, right? The energy absorption kicks in immediately, and it is intense. This is the moment that changes everything. But gaining superpowers isn't exactly a walk in the park. It's a violent, agonizing transformation that feels like being torn apart from the inside out. The power surge is so massive, it tears the room apart, leaving his so-called teammates stunned and terrified. He's not the person they knew just a minute ago. Elsewhere, the apocalypse is bringing out the absolute worst in people. A group of survivors has turned on one of their own, and they are not messing around. Their leader, Brother Dao, is starving and has completely lost his patience, and unfortunately for her, Su Chen's ex, Jiang Shaojian, is his target. They think threatening Su Chen's fiancé is a good idea. They have no clue who they're about to provoke. The group's hunger is making them reckless and dangerously desperate. Rational thought went out the window a long time ago. One of them asks for meat. The way he says it makes it clear he's not talking about the canned stuff. But not everyone is willing to stand by and watch. A woman named Duan Ya grabs a knife, ready to defend her friend no matter the cost. And then the horrifying realization clicks for everyone else. He wasn't asking for just any meat. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. A man stands in shock, facing a blindfolded woman who seems eerily calm, almost like she's seen this all before. A hand tightens around a cleaver. Someone is about to make a move that will change everything, but the attack is intercepted by a hand crackling with energy. This isn't just a squabble between survivors anymore. This is a clash of power. The confrontation gets personal, revealing a past betrayal. The look in her eyes says it all. There will be no mercy here. The accusation hangs in the air, sharp as the blade itself. You were going to use me as bait. So while Su Chen is getting his revenge plan in motion, other people are having a really bad day. Someone is getting absolutely wrecked by a mysterious figure, and it looks like a power-up gone horribly wrong. The goons who were harassing Duanya are suddenly on the defensive, and whoever is schooling them is not holding back on the trash talk. Turns out, a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes stepped in to save Duanya. Mr. Sun's crew clearly picked the wrong person to mess with, and now they're getting completely dismantled. Yeah, they are not taking it well. This is the face of a guy who just realized he's no longer the top predator in the room. Their boss, Mr. Sun, is completely losing it. He's screaming for his men to find Duanya, but she's long gone. Meanwhile, back at the base, Su Chen is having a moment of his own. He can feel a surge of new energy coursing through him. It looks like he's leveling up. This isn't just a small boost either. He's feeling his entire body change, getting stronger and faster as the power settles in. And there's the confirmation. Su Chen tests out his new strength and realizes his physical abilities have jumped up right along with his powers. Just as he's getting used to his new stats, a familiar face pops up on his security feed. It's Duanya, the woman who just escaped from Mr. Sun's party. Duanya is on the run and thinking fast. She knows the building isn't safe anymore, but she believes she has one last card to play. She heads for what she thinks is a safe room, only to find the door is already clicking open. And who's on the other side? Su Chen, of course. He finds her right where he expected, looking a little worse for wear after her escape. She is completely thrown off. This super-powered, ridiculously calm guy is the last person she ever expected to see. The meeting gets awkward. After a clumsy accident, things get a little heated, and apologies are frantically thrown around. Su Chen already knows from his past life that she's a doctor, a huge asset in the apocalypse. She offers up her skills, trying to prove her worth in this new world. He plays it cool, reminding her that resources are tight and trust has to be earned. He's got the upper hand, and he absolutely knows it. Then he lays down the law. She can stay, but she has to play by his rules, with no ulterior motives. Duanya agrees, but Su Chen decides to give her a little demonstration of what he means. A quick flex of his power is enough to make his point and completely ruin her outfit. With the power dynamic firmly established, Su Chen makes her an offer she can't refuse. He's not just offering safety, he's offering a way to get stronger, starting with something new to eat. In a world gone completely sideways, Su Chen takes a moment to appreciate the little things. Running water, electricity, a hot shower, these are the ultimate luxuries now. He's living in a 5-star apocalypse bunker while everyone else is fighting for scraps. Some might call him a coward for hiding away while the world burns. But Su Chen knows this isn't cowardice. It's strategy. He's lived through this once before, and this time, he's playing to win. But let's be clear, our guy isn't exactly a saint. He's a survivor, first and foremost. And in this world, that means making some questionable calls. He knows what desperation looks like. He's seen what people are willing to trade for a moment of safety, for a single meal. It's a memory that fuels his resolve. A choice is made, a line is crossed. She's weighed the options and decided her path, ready to face whatever comes next. Turns out, Su Chen isn't just relaxing. He's keeping a close eye on his new guest. Trust is a resource he can't afford to waste. His excuse? He's just making sure she doesn't try anything funny. Yeah, right, he's clearly enjoying being the one in charge for a change. Cleaned up and changed, she gets her first real look at Su Chen's personal fortress. He wasn't kidding about being prepared. Of all the outfits in his massive hoard, he gives her a nurse's uniform. He says it looks good on her, but you can tell he's just messing with her. Right on cue, the outside world comes knocking. Loudly. Someone's turning, and they're desperate to get in. But for Su Chen, this is just part of the forecast. His guest, Duanya, is terrified. She knows exactly who's out there. Desperate survivors who've already resorted to cannibalism. They're not just monsters. They used to be people. Wait, what? Even Su Chen, the guy who's literally seen the future, is floored. Cannibalism. It's starting sooner and closer than he thought. And with a single click, the situation goes from bad to worse. Su Chen doesn't hesitate. He opens the door to a full-blown nightmare in his hallway, where a group of cannibals have cornered their next victim. Looks like the party's just getting started. The cannibals are thrilled to see him, like he's the main course they've been waiting for. They have absolutely no idea what they've just walked into. Their leader, a mutated brute named Brother Dao, steps up to face him, knife in hand. But against the man who knows how this all ends, he's just another obstacle. The first punch is thrown, a furious lunge meant to end things quickly. But Su Chen catches it like it's nothing. That's the sound of an ego, and probably a wrist breaking. What follows is less of a fight and more of a one-sided beatdown. Su Chen moves through them with brutal, practiced efficiency. He's not just surviving, he's dominating. He effortlessly saves Duanya from becoming their next meal. For her, it's a terrifying nightmare. For Su Chen, it's just another Tuesday. The cannibals quickly learn that messing with the guy in the quiet apartment was a very, very bad idea. The price for their meal is steep. And here's the kicker. Su Chen reveals the terrible secret they didn't know. Eating human flesh is what's turning them into these monsters. They are becoming what they consume. But one of them, Gao Chang, just laughs. He ate something else. A crystal nucleus from a monster. And now he's feeling stronger than ever. He thinks he has the power to take Su Chen down. Su Chen is not impressed. He cuts the villain monologue short, reminding the monster exactly who is in control here. With one swift kick, he sends the brute flying. As he falls, the glowing source of his power is revealed, a crystal nucleus. That's a prize worth taking. He crashes through the floorboards, a brutal end to his short-lived power trip. And that's the end of that. But the night's not over yet. A new monster appears, and this one is way more personal. It's his manipulative ex-girlfriend, Zhang Zhaoqian, and she's got a score to settle. She's changed. The transformation is grotesque, fueled by a rage that's been simmering since before the world even ended. It all started with the unbearable heat, a symptom of the change taking over her body. She was desperate, not knowing she was on the verge of becoming a monster herself. Okay, so these guys clearly picked the wrong person to mess with. Su Chen is just tossing them around like they're nothing. This isn't a fight. It's a one-man demolition crew at work. He's not just powerful, he's got an attitude to match. He's literally asking if they're even worth the ammo. The disrespect is just off the charts. Looks like the big guy didn't appreciate the trash talk. He's powering up, screaming about being underestimated. Classic villain move, but will it be enough? So not only can he teleport, but he can summon energy blades too? This guy is an entire apocalypse survival kit in one person. He's tearing through these creatures with a gun in one hand and a magic sword in the other. Tired of playing around, Su Chen decides to just end it. One punch, and it's pure chaos and energy. He is not holding back anymore. The monster gets a hand on him, but Su Chen is way too fast. He immediately turns the tables and plants a blade right in its arm. Even when he's grabbed, he's still in control. And that's gotta hurt. The monster is just screaming its head off as Su Chen's attack connects. You can almost feel that one from here. Okay, this is just getting disrespectful now. Su Chen grabs the monster by the face, ready to finish this. The power difference between them is insane. And poof, the monster just disintegrates under his touch. Whatever Su Chen is doing, it's literally tearing his enemy apart from the inside out. Those eyes, that's the look of someone who knows exactly what they're doing. This isn't just a fight for him, it's personal. You can feel the intensity. Just when you think it's over, the real boss shows up. This thing looks way more serious, like something straight out of a nightmare. The first guy was just the warm-up act. The new creature seems to be recovering from the blast, or maybe changing. There's a weird energy coming off it as it picks itself up off the floor. Wait a second, he recognizes that thing. He says her name, Zhang Xiaoqian. His ex-girlfriend is that monster? She mutated this fast? Apparently, her attachment was pretty deep. That's a weirdly poetic way of saying her obsession turned her into this. Meanwhile, someone else is having a really bad day. This guy is getting absolutely wrecked, choked out by some unseen force. The apocalypse isn't playing favorites. And we're back to Su Chen, who's not even fazed by his ex's new look. He's basically saying, I've killed you once, I can do it again, cold. And the monster, his ex, is not taking that well. She's fully transformed now, and she is furious. Time for round 2. News travels fast, even in the apocalypse. Duan Ya, the nurse Su Chen rescued, is totally starstruck after he single-handedly dismantled Gao Chang's whole crew. This is the scene she's freaking out about. A hallway full of bodies, some kind of horned monster, and Su Chen just standing there like he's waiting for a bus. But being a fan isn't enough for her. Duan Ya knows that if she wants to stick with a guy like Su Chen, she can't just be dead weight. Right on cue, she calls his name, and he turns to see what's up. Okay, so this is her big pitch. She's got a whole new look and a whip, ready to prove she's not just some damsel in distress, and Su Chen just shuts it down, cold. In his book, the best way she can help is by simply not being another problem he has to solve. That's a tough pill to swallow, but he's got a point. This isn't some game. The things they're fighting are actual nightmares. And speaking of nightmares, the monster decides it's done waiting around. It immediately goes on the offensive, blasting forward in a blur of rage and power. But Su Chen moves in a flash, meeting the monster's charge with his own brutal attack. Duan Ya is left completely stunned by the sheer force on display, and that wasn't even his final form. Su Chen taps into a berserker mode, getting a full-on demonic power-up to fight fire with fire. The creature lunges, trying to bite him, but it's about to find out it's no longer the scariest thing in the room. Big mistake. Its teeth can't even break his skin, and Su Chen just looks at it, completely in control. He doesn't just block the attack, he catches it. Su Chen seizes the monster's arm, overpowering its energy with his own, and the beatdown begins. He swings the monster around like a ragdoll, before slamming it to the floor and stomping on it for good measure. You'd think that would be the end of it, but this thing is tough. Even with Su Chen standing on its face, it's still got enough fight left to talk trash. And then, with a horrifying ripping sound, something starts to happen. It's evolving. The monster violently transforms, unleashing a shockwave of power that even catches Su Chen off guard. The first monster is down for the count. But before Su Chen can even catch his breath, a new threat appears, grabbing him from above. He knows exactly who this is, and his original plan for revenge just went out the window. He decides he's ending this right here, right now. Just as he's about to finish it though, something gives him pause. Turns out his ex has some monstrous powers of her own. Glowing tentacles erupt and wrap around him, squeezing tight. Because she's not just some girl with powers, she's becoming a full-blown monster herself. Her human form gives way as this parasitic-looking growth consumes her, revealing her true nature. The result is pure nightmare fuel, a creature of raw flesh and fangs. Her new limbs writhe with a life of their own, completing the horrifying transformation. The transformation is complete. His ex-girlfriend is now a terrifying monster, and she is not happy. And Su Chen quickly realizes this isn't going to be an easy fight. It seems his ex can regenerate from his attacks, which is a major problem. And poor Duan Ya, who just wanted to be helpful with a whip, is watching all of this go down. She is, understandably, losing her mind. Their reactions couldn't be more different. While Duan Ya is frozen in terror, Su Chen is thrilled by the challenge. A regenerating monster is just what he needs to test his limits. Okay, so this thing can regenerate. That just means it's not going down without a serious fight. Challenge accepted. This isn't just a fight for survival anymore. He's actually starting to enjoy this, and with a surge of power, he's ready to end it. The creature tries to fight back, but it's no use. He's got it right where he wants it, and he's not letting go. This isn't a fight anymore. It's a complete teardown. He's ripping the monster apart with his bare hands, showing it what real power looks like. He doesn't give it a single moment to recover. He just keeps pushing forward, overwhelming it with pure, raw force. And just like that, the fight is over. He casually stands on the monster's head, as if he just finished a light workout. But killing the monster wasn't the end goal. Inside its corpse, something starts to move, the source of its power, the crystal nucleus. As the creature dies, its form twists and changes, revealing a humanoid shape underneath. Its final moments are pure agony, but for him, that was just the warm-up, and with a smirk, he makes it clear he's ready for whatever comes next. He gets back to the room, but the fight isn't over, at least not for him. The woman he's protecting can only watch in shock as a new power erupts from his body. His power continues to tear through the creature's body. It fights back with everything it has, but it's a losing battle. With the creature finally dead, he looks for what he really came for. He knows there's an energy core inside, and he plans on taking it. And then we see why he's so ruthless. He's not just fighting monsters, he's fighting the memory of what happened to her, and he'll do anything to make sure it never happens again. This whole brutal fight was driven by one thing: revenge. But against a power like his, that rage was never going to be enough. He absorbs the monster's energy core, and you can feel the power radiating off him. He's not just a survivor anymore, he's becoming a predator. But absorbing that much power doesn't come without a price. Back in the safety of the bunker, Duanya can only watch in terror as the transformation racks his body. He shrugs off the pain like it's nothing, his focus shifting entirely to her. He says he'll be fine, but now she has a price to pay. And the price he's talking about isn't money. He reminds her that she's the one who asked for his protection, and now it's time to collect. The world is ending, but for some reason, the air is getting warm? It's the first sign that things are about to get even weirder. Meanwhile, the military is on the ground, trying to make sense of the chaos. But it's not just the city falling apart, because the people aren't exactly people anymore. The captain sees it first, and she realizes the true scale of the problem. They're called drought demons, and there are a lot of them. A whole city's worth, pouring into the streets. This isn't a fight you can win. So the captain makes a call. She'll hold the line, giving her team a chance to escape. A classic hero move, but this world doesn't really do heroes. Flashback to our guy, Su Chen. He's not running from the apocalypse. He's been preparing for it, and his prep work is a little extra. After a very thorough celebration that the heat wave is over, Su Chen remembers he has a world to conquer. His new ally, Duanya, seems pretty happy with the arrangement. In his past life, the end of the world started with a flood that wiped out everything. This time, he's got a head start, a sweet ride, and a plan. That first disaster had one major side effect. It left military-grade weapons scattered all over the city. A real free-for-all. And when everyone has a gun, the craziest guys tend to come out on top. Suddenly, it wasn't about surviving the monsters, it was about surviving the other survivors. And new factions started carving up the city for themselves. Which brings us to these guys. They see a nice car and think they've hit the jackpot. Su Chen, however, is not impressed. He's got things to do, and a bunch of shirtless wannabe warlords are not on the agenda. So he decides to handle it. Quickly, one quick stop, a bit of light remodeling on their faces, and he's back on the road. Some people just have to learn the hard way. Don't mess with the guy in the yellow truck. Lesson learned. But even for him, seeing the city like this again brings it all back. The scale of the destruction is just immense. He could waste time cracking open zombie skulls for power-up crystals, but that's small time. He's got a bigger mission, and it starts at the local college. This isn't just any college building. It's a research institute. And inside is the source of his teleportation power, his own personal pocket dimension. He steps inside like he owns the place, because, well, he basically does. Welcome to the VIP lounge at the end of the world, but it looks like someone else has already moved in. A group of survivors has turned his safe house into their own little kingdom, complete with a couple of pet monsters on chains. They look pretty proud of themselves. Su Chen's response? He offers them a chicken leg. You gotta appreciate the confidence. In a world where everyone is starving, waving food around is like blood in the water. They don't want one chicken leg. They want everything he has. This is exactly the reaction he was hoping for. Predictable. One of them throws the bone back at him, trying to start a fight. Big mistake, because Su Chen was never going to give them the chicken leg. He was just playing with his food, and now he's done playing with them. The time for games is over. He's here to reclaim his property. A few moments later, the squatters are taken care of, and Su Chen continues on his way. In this new world, you either get with the program or you get out of the way. Su Chen's pre-apocalypse shopping list is getting weird. His next stop isn't a grocery store, but a university's reptile and snake department. A rusty old lock isn't going to stop him. He can tell the place has been abandoned for a while, which is perfect for what he has in mind. Inside, it's a mess, and it smells like death. But he's not here for the live animals. He's looking for something very specific. He pushes past the decay, his eyes scanning the lab. And then, bingo, he's found what he came for. The scene opens on these three guys, all armed to the teeth and waiting by a door. You can tell they're expecting trouble to come knocking, and soon. One of the guys is already losing his cool, clearly stressed about whatever's about to happen. But our protagonist, Su Chen, just stands there looking completely unfazed by the whole thing. Then, out of nowhere, a new player enters the game. This woman starts tearing through the armed guards with some seriously impressive martial arts, taking them all down by herself. Just when you think it's a normal fight, another guy with glowing red eyes shows up. He starts zapping people with some kind of energy attack, and things get a lot weirder, but the tables turn, fast. In the middle of the chaos, he suddenly finds himself with a gun pressed to his head. The situation just flipped, hard. The fight isn't over yet, and now it's up close and personal. The woman gets him in a leg lock, trying to take control, and he is clearly not having a good time. And then the fight just stops. We get this quiet, almost intimate moment between them. It's a sudden shift that leaves you wondering what just happened. Yeah, that's the reaction. Someone is completely speechless. And honestly, same here. Okay, so now we're in a different room, and the woman from the fight is tied to a chair. The person holding the gun wants to know who she is, and she looks absolutely furious. Turns out, she's not just some random fighter. She's Bai Chang, the captain of an elite special forces team. And now she's face to face with Su Chen, who apparently is the one who tied her up. Su Chen gets a message, and it's bad news. It's a live feed of one of Bai Chang's men, captured and being held hostage. But in the middle of this hostage crisis, what's Su Chen doing? He's cooking a steak. The timing is a choice. As he's about to eat, we get the full story. A group of fugitives took over a school and are holding students hostage. Also, for some reason, his fork is glowing. And these aren't just regular prisoners. They've got glowing red eyes and have mixed in with a crowd of civilian evacuees, making the situation way more dangerous. Bai Chang is obviously worried about her team, but Su Chen seems completely detached. He's just focused on his very rare steak. Meanwhile, Captain Bai Kang is still tied up, and she has had enough. She's demanding to be let go right now. And just to be clear, she is quarterized docks tied up. The situation looks pretty grim for the Special Forces captain, who is completely at Su Chen's mercy. So Su Chen makes a deal. He'll untie her, but she has to promise not to use that leg choke move on him again. Her counteroffer? She wants some of that steak. There's just one tiny problem. Su Chen, the guy with teleportation powers, apparently can't figure out how to untie a simple rope. And there it is, the ridiculously complicated knot, just lying on the floor. Looks like he gave up and just cut her loose instead. Now that she's free, Bai Chang is ready for action. She can't join Su Chen's mission directly, but she offers to provide some serious firepower support from a distance. Su Chen basically tells her to get lost and not bother him. She looks hurt, but you can see the determination in her eyes. She's not giving up on her people. But just as she's about to walk away, he stops her. It seems like he's had a change of heart. He reaches into his dimensional storage and with a flash of light, pulls something out. It's clearly not just a set of car keys. He hands her a massive sniper rifle, revealing that her captured teammate is like a brother to him. So now, it's personal for him too. We cut to the administrative block, where we meet our new main villain. He's got the classic crime boss setup, a throne, henchmen, and bodies hanging from the ceiling for decoration. This guy is definitely the one in charge of the escaped prisoners who've taken over the school. His whole crew is armed and ready, and they've already taken victims. And yeah, he's a real charmer. His brilliant plan is to use anyone who doesn't cooperate as human shields on the front lines. But his little party is about to be crashed. Someone just kicked the door clean off its hinges with some serious, super-powered force. And surprise, it's Su Chen. Glowing with power and looking like he's ready to tear the place apart, the real fight is about to begin. So Su Chen just pops into a room full of heavily armed loan sharks, no big deal. The boss is freaking out, screaming about how he got past 20 guards outside. Su Chen, meanwhile, is just chilling, completely unfazed. His answer? He just points a finger gun, smirks, and says, just like this. The guy's got an answer for everything, and it's usually a power move. And then his eyes light up with that purple glow. He's not just talking. He's about to give them a live demonstration of his power. In a flash of purple light, the loan shark boss is sent flying across the room. 1 second he's yelling threats, the next he's just a blur. The rest of the crew completely loses it, screaming in terror. Down below, Su Chen is the picture of calm, pointing like he's conducting an orchestra of pure chaos. While one of the thugs is absolutely raging, we see why. Through a sniper scope, one of his guys is taken out instantly with an energy blast to the head. Looks like Su Chen brought a friend, and there's our sniper, perched on a rooftop providing backup. She's got eyes on the inside, and the news isn't great. The room is still packed with thugs. This is a full-on tactical operation now. Su Chen is on the comms with his new partner, a sniper who looks like she was born with a rifle in her hands. But even a pro has her limits. She's already having major second thoughts, wondering how she got roped into what she calls his absurd plan. Shaking off her doubts, she gets back to work. She's got her scope trained on a window, just waiting for a clear shot. But just as she's about to take the shot, the curtain snaps shut. The plan just went sideways, and she's frantically trying to reach Su Chen on the comms. She gets a reply, but it's not from Su Chen. The enemy has hijacked their frequency, and he's on the line just to laugh at them for thinking a single sniper could make a difference. Su Chen realizes they've been spotted. The boss isn't hiding. He's sending his own super-powered enforcer after the sniper, and she is already on her way. This new opponent is pure, reckless energy. She's literally screaming as she barrels towards the rooftop, not caring about anything but the kill. We see a flash of the sniper's own past, and it's clear she's a fighter. But then we're pulled into a much darker memory, Su Chen's past life. This is the moment it all went wrong. Captured by Wang Haoyu, the man who killed him, right after being betrayed. Su Chen reaches out, not with his hands, but with his power. And across town, the man who killed him in his past life, Wang Haoyu, starts to burn from the inside out. And it's not just humans he's after. When one of the new monsters gets in his way, Su Chen handles it with a smirk. He's not just surviving, he's thriving. Su Chen's displays of power don't go unnoticed. Duan Ya, a survivor he rescued, can barely believe what she's seeing, realizing he's not just some lucky student. While others worry about starving, Su Chen is always thinking 10 steps ahead. He makes it clear. He'll help, but only if it serves his purpose. No free handouts in the apocalypse. His next move is unexpected. Su Chen announces they're heading to the girls' dormitory, leaving Duan Ya completely baffled. He always has a reason, but he rarely shares it. Turns out, it's a rescue mission. Some other survivors went to the dorms for supplies and never came back. Su Chen isn't one for leaving loose ends, and this is what they find. The missing students, captured and strung up like puppets. Clearly, they walked right into a trap. The scene is brutal, and it looks like some kind of strange power was used to do it. Whoever's behind this is not your average thug. The culprits are a crew of sadistic thugs, and they've captured someone important. Special Forces Captain Bai Chang. They seem to be enjoying their work a little too much. Her subordinate tries desperately to free her, but they're running out of time. The captain is clearly at her limit, but the rescue fails. Beaten and broken, Captain Bai Chang has only one request left for her captors, a quick and clean death. The masked leader, however, has other ideas. He's not about to let her off that easy. He unleashes his power on her, a thorny whip that seems to inflict more than just physical pain. He's not just torturing her, he's studying the effects. He asks how she's feeling, like a scientist observing an experiment. But then the strangest thing happens. The pain turns into pleasure, and Captain Bai Chang seems revitalized. And she's not talking to her captor anymore. She's looking right past him. Suddenly, the whole scene changes. The captor and captive are now allies, and the masked man is furious. He's realized someone else was watching the whole time and interfering with his property, and that someone is Su Chen. From a distance, he used his power to save the captain, and in the process, made two very dangerous new enemies. Meanwhile, Su Chen and his group finally link up with the soldiers from the failed rescue. They're relieved to see their captain, but one of them, Xiao Feng, is badly hurt. With supplies critically low, tensions are running high. When the group's medicine goes missing, all eyes turn to the mysterious newcomer, Su Chen. But Su Chen ignores the accusations completely. He's more concerned with the injured soldier, whose wound looks like it's getting worse. He's seen this kind of injury before, in his past life. He knows these scratches aren't normal, and if left untreated, they'll turn the soldier into a monster. Luckily, Su Chen came prepared for this exact scenario. He pulls out a special item he's been saving, and it looks like it's just enough to stop the transformation. The group is stunned when Su Chen produces a huge stash of high-grade medicine. He didn't steal their meager supplies, he had his own all along. But Su Chen's generosity isn't free. As he treats the soldier, he's also sizing him up, seeing a potential powerhouse he can recruit for his own team. The soldier, Xiao Feng, recovers quickly and gets straight to the point. He knows a gift like that always comes with a price, and he wants to know what Su Chen's is. Su Chen tells him the truth. The real danger isn't the monsters they've fought so far, but a catastrophic flood that will wipe everything out. He's offering them a chance to survive, if they follow him. But not everyone is ready to believe the doomsday prophet. One student publicly accuses him of lying just to scare everyone away and hoard the school's resources for himself. Su Chen recognizes her instantly. It's Feng Qing, a spoiled and arrogant classmate who made his life difficult even before the world ended. Some things never change. But this time, Su Chen doesn't have time for her drama. He completely ignores her outburst and just walks away, leaving her stunned. He has bigger problems to deal with. Su Chen finally comes face to face with his ex, Zhang Shaochan. He's not here for a conversation. A flash of power sends her flying across the room. The shock on her face is real, and she is not happy about getting slapped. But what's that little gadget she's holding onto? And it looks like Su Chen has a fan in the crowd. Apparently, Zhang Shaoqian had been getting on everyone's nerves. The crowd starts to get hostile, but Su Chen just watches, completely unfazed. Zhang Shaoqian, however, absolutely loses it. While Su Chen is talking with another survivor, Zhang Shaoqian sees her chance and makes a run for it. But her escape is cut short when she runs right into another problem. She's snatched up by a masked brute who's looking for Su Chen. It seems like she just ran from one enemy straight into the arms of another. Su Chen lets Captain Bai take the lead on the evacuation, watching as he gets the other survivors to safety. Now Su Chen can focus on the real threat. Su Chen is already scrolling through his monster hit list, eyeing a Snake King nucleus for his next power-up. But his strategic planning is cut short by a desperate scream for help. And here's a new face, Feng Qing. He's immediately put on the spot, accused of being the one who snatched the group's supplies. The masked man, calling himself Steel Fang, has Jiang Xiaoqian strung up like bait. He's putting on a whole show to draw out the person who stole his supplies, and he's got one name on his mind, Su Chen. So this is Su Chen? The masked man seems pretty disappointed. He was expecting some legendary warrior, not just this kid. But Su Chen isn't intimidated. He's analyzing. He recognizes something about this crew and asks if they're from the Federal Bureau of Evolution. The masked man laughs, confirming his identity. He says he even prepared a gift for their little meeting and cracks open a shipping container. And the gift is a whole container full of monsters. As the horde spills out, Su Chen is locked in a standoff with Steel Fang, who's still holding a terrified Zhang Xiaoqian as his trump card. Meanwhile, some other survivors are starting to notice Su Chen's little disappearing act, and it looks like they're not just gonna let him walk away. This guy, Xiaofeng, is dead set on following him, no matter what his friend says. He's got a one-track mind, and right now, it's all about finding Su Chen. Elsewhere, things are getting real Mad Max, real fast. We've got raiders, a souped-up truck, and someone having a very, very bad day. And here's our villain of the week, a masked psycho with a hostage in tow. He's putting on a big show, daring someone to step up and be a hero. And who does he want to save her? Su Chen, of course. But while the hostage panics, Su Chen's just calmly weighing his options like it's a game of chess. He decides he could save her. But there's a catch, and you just know it's not going to be a simple one. The girl, who we now recognize as his manipulative ex Zhang Shaoqian, completely loses it. She can't believe he's not just jumping to her rescue. She pulls out all the stops, questioning his honor and his courage. but she's about to learn that guilt-tripping a reincarnated apocalypse survivor is a very bad idea. Su Chen's response is ice cold. He basically says, "You're right, I'm not worthy, so why don't you ask your new friends for help?" And it finally clicks for her. This isn't about heroism. It's payback for how she treated him before all this. She screams that her pride won't let her beg, but Su Chen just calmly corrects her. This isn't about some petty insult. It's about something much, much bigger. As the monsters close in, the masked leader offers her a gift to end her suffering. It's a twisted kind of mercy in a world gone mad. He even gives the poison a little taste test, just to be theatrical. This guy really loves his job, but Su Chen, watching from a distance, knows exactly what it is: a corpse-dissolving pill. The villain is stunned that anyone could identify his little secret. Realizing he just tasted a flesh-melting poison, the guy has a totally normal reaction. He completely freaks out, spitting and gagging. With the villain distracted, the monsters turn their attention to Su Chen. But he just stands there, hands in his pockets, completely unbothered. Then, his eyes light up. This is the Su Chen who survived the future, and he's about to show them what real power looks like. In a flash of light, he summons twin blades and unleashes a devastating attack. The Horde never stood a chance. He moves like a blur, a whirlwind of purple energy and cold steel. Every strike is precise, efficient, and absolutely lethal. The masked leader, who thought Su Chen was dead meat, can only stare in disbelief. Not only is he alive, he's standing there like he just finished a light workout. Back with the other survivors, they're still trying to figure out what to do. They can feel the chaos from a distance, and they're getting worried. Suddenly, Duanya spots something that makes her panic. From her point of view, it looks like Su Chen might be in over his head. But the villain isn't done yet. He stands on his war rig, taunting the Horde and anyone else who will listen, ready for another round. A new player enters the game, an armored captain screaming orders. But whatever attack they launch, Su Chen just absorbs it, completely unimpressed. The captain is absolutely floored. He's never seen anyone just tank an attack like that, and he has no idea what he's up against. With a flick of his wrist, Su Chen has the entire squad tangled up in energy lines. He's in total control, and he knows it. The mass leader's jaw, if we could see it, would be on the floor. He just can't comprehend the level of power he's witnessing. And then Su Chen just steps away. He phases through reality like it's a doorway, leaving everyone behind in his dust. He reappears right in the villain's face, making it clear he's not interested in their little club. Su Chen plays by his own rules, and nobody else's. Su Chen isn't playing around. He's got this captain, Bai Chang, cornered, and wants answers, like yesterday. The question is simple and brutal. Who sent you? The interrogation gets intense, fast. Su Chen is literally shocking the information out of him, and you can see the guy starting to change under the pressure. And then, something snaps. Whatever Su Chen is doing, it's causing a massive, violent reaction inside Bai Tong's body. It looks like he's tearing something apart with his bare hands. The raw power on display is just completely off the charts. Duanya is completely floored by what she just witnessed. Meanwhile, Su Chen looks like he just took out the trash, casually holding the defeated masked goon. After that little display, they make their way to the Green City Hotel. This is supposed to be their new base of operations in this messed up world. Elsewhere, someone is having a very different kind of night. It seems like a bad dream, or maybe a memory she can't escape. And who's at the center of this nightmare? Su Chen, of course. His ex, Jiang Shaoqian, wakes up screaming his name. It's a full-on panic attack as she jolts awake. She's terrified of being abandoned by him all over again. Her nightmare quickly turns into, well, this. She's clearly obsessed, wondering why he hasn't come crawling back to her yet. Her memories are a total mess of fear and desire. She remembers Su Chen's cold rejection and her desperate promise to prove her worth. And this is how she plans to do it. She's not just gonna sit around. She's ready to fight to stay by his side. But just as she's getting all fired up, something startles her. A low growl echoes through the room. That is definitely not a friendly sound. Her determination turns to anger in a split second. She's not afraid to use that gun on whatever's coming for her. She sweeps the room on high alert. But she can't find the source of the noise anywhere. The realization hits her like a truck. It's not in front of her. It's been right behind her this whole time. So this woman finds herself face to face with whatever that is. He looks like he's having a really bad day, but she's got a gun, and she's not messing around. She makes a move, trying to get into a better position, But in the heat of the moment, things don't always go as planned. Of all the things to stop you during the apocalypse, it's a table. Seriously. The world is ending, and you're blocked by inconveniently placed furniture. Before she can even recover, her gun goes flying. And surprise, there's a new player in the room. Big, shadowy, and with some seriously creepy red eyes. Monster lets out a huge roar. It's either in a lot of pain, or it's powering up for something even worse. She's completely surrounded and totally overwhelmed. One minute she's fighting for her life, the next she's caught in the middle of a monster-on-monster brawl. The creature seems to be in agony, like it's being torn apart from the inside. This is way more than just a simple zombie situation. She's trying to stay completely silent, not even daring to breathe. The monster is sniffing the air, and she knows one wrong move is all it will take. There's another gun mounted on the wall, her last chance. She makes a desperate reach for it, even as the creature closes in. It's so close, just a few more inches. In moments like these, a few inches can feel like a mile. She finally gets her hand on the gun, but the monster is right on top of her. It's a race against the clock, and she's about to lose. Suddenly, the creature just stops. It's not attacking her anymore. It's just screaming in agony as its body burns from the inside out. Meanwhile, Su Chen is laying down the law for his new potential recruit, Duan Ya. In his new world order, you have to pull your weight. Being pretty isn't enough to earn you a spot on the team. And it looks like Duan Ye took that to heart. She's not waiting for a rescue. She's going on the offensive to prove she's more than just a pretty face. She gets right in the monster's face, using its own pain and confusion as an opening. This is her chance to show what she can do. No gun? No problem. She's literally using her high heel as a weapon, and it looks like it's surprisingly effective. The monster grabs her leg, stopping her attack mid-swing. But the fight is far from over. She twists out of its grip and lands another solid hit. She's fighting with everything she's got, turning everyday items into deadly weapons. Another swift kick sends the creature reeling back in pain. It's clear she's not going down without a serious fight. The creature finally collapses, its body still glowing as its life fades. Duan Ya just watches, catching her breath after the intense battle. And boom, fight over. She found a massive axe somewhere and finished the job, wishing Su Chen could have seen her prove her worth. Elsewhere, Su Chen's plans are already in motion. His allies, Bai Chang and Xiaofang, are at the university, getting students to evacuate before it's too late. Their first stop is the girls' dormitory. They need to gather as many survivors as they can, as quickly as possible. But Su Chen didn't just send them to rescue people. He gave them a very specific and very strange shopping list from the university's reptile lab. Back with Su Chen, things are getting weird. He's got the glowing eyes thing going on, and he's apparently summoning a giant snake monster from his own body. He's not just summoning it for fun, though. He has a very specific and very wet plan for his new friend. With a huge crash, the bucket of water is introduced to the snake. This isn't just a bath, it's the start of a transformation. The water triggers a violent mutation. The snake's body twists and grows, changing into something much bigger and much more terrifying. Su Chen watches the whole thing happen with a curious look. Even for a guy who's lived through this before, this is clearly something new. And just like that, Su Chen has a new pet dragon. He seems pretty calm for a guy standing in front of a giant monster he just created. Su Chen casually materializes an energy sword, looking completely unfazed. He's not just here to fight, he's offering his opponent a new job as his pet. The confidence is off the charts. The fight explodes into motion, with Su Chen moving so fast he's literally breaking the scenery. And it turns out he's not fighting a person, but a massive red-eyed serpent. This just got way more interesting, and just in case we weren't clear, here's a close-up of the monster's business end. It's all teeth and rage, lunging straight for the kill. So the energy sword isn't enough. Su Chen's solution is brutally simple. If the blade doesn't work, he'll just punch the monster into next week. And the punch lands with explosive force, lighting up the whole screen. He's literally standing on the monster's back mid-fight, completely in his element. But the monster is smarter than it looks, and it manages to trap Su Chen in its coils. He seems more annoyed than anything, even giving it points for being cunning. Even while being crushed by a giant serpent, Su Chen is analyzing the fight. He realizes the big flashy attack was just a feint, and this was the monster's real goal all along. And it all comes down to this. Su Chen, standing his ground, staring straight into the jaws of the beast. The tension is dialed up to 11. Meanwhile, on a nearby rooftop, we meet our audience. Two heavily armed observers are watching the show, and they're clearly wondering if Su Chen is going to make it out of this. The man, Bai Chang, states it as a fact. He won't die. His partner is just glued to the scene, maybe starting to believe him. You have to wonder why he's so sure. Then we get this dramatic, almost prophetic moment. A simple gesture and a promise that feels more like a threat. We will definitely meet again. And we're back. Su Chen, still caught by the monster, just smirks. He's practically laughing at the idea that this could actually hold him. And this is his escape plan. He doesn't just break the monster's grip, he unleashes his power and literally tears space itself apart. This is a whole other level. When the chaos clears, the monster is gone, leaving only a single, glowing crystal behind. Su Chen collects his prize, and for a moment, his eyes glow with a dangerous red light. First, the world burned in extreme heat. Then, the flood came to wash away what was left of human civilization. Even cities far from the coast were swallowed whole. The water came for everyone, and all you could hear were the screams. The local university was almost completely submerged. Only the tallest buildings managed to stay above the water. But Su Chen is having a very different experience with the flood. After absorbing a monster's crystal core, his body is starting to change in some wild ways. He's not even using his nose or mouth, but he can breathe perfectly fine. Looks like the Golden King snake came with a pretty sweet underwater upgrade. Being able to breathe underwater is one thing, but fighting a city-destroying current is another. This flood is no joke, and it's a struggle just to move. And Su Chen knows this is just the beginning. After the floods, volcanic ash will block out the sun, plunging the world into a doomsday winter. In a world like this, civilization is a joke, and the weak are just prey. Su Chen knows the only way to survive is to get stronger, no matter what it takes. And the threats are stacking up. From giant snakes and corpse kings to devourer clans and rat armies, the city has been carved up by powerful new monsters. But in this life, Su Chen has a plan. He's already taken out 2 of the big bosses, and now he's going after the rest of their power cores. The problem is, his next targets are hard to pin down. The Devourer clan is massive, and the female Corpse King is basically a ghost. While he's focused on the Rat King, it looks like some other monsters have found him first. He's completely surrounded by ghouls emerging from the water. Elsewhere, 2 guys are stranded on a tower, and they are not having a good time. One of them seems to know exactly who to blame for their situation. Just when things couldn't get worse, one of them spots someone in the water, and from the look on his face, it's not a friendly face. It's Su Chen, and he's cutting through the flood like it's nothing. The guys on the tower can't believe he's still alive. Turns out, these guys were sent by the Bureau to watch Su Chen, and one of them is so mad about being stuck here, he's ready to throw hands. He might want to hold that thought. Su Chen isn't just out for a swim. He's got a whole horde of monsters right on his tail. Instead of running from the horde, Su Chen launches himself straight out of the water. He's heading right for the agents on the tower. The guy wanted to kick him back in the water. Su Chen decides to return the favor immediately, and that's a direct hit to the face. Looks like talking trash to the guy swimming through a monster-infested flood was a bad move. Before the other agent can even react, Su Chen has him by the wrist. He is clearly in control here. The situation gets even more desperate. The agent Su Chen didn't kick is now struggling to hold his partner from falling into the dark water. Despite the insane struggle, he's not giving up on his partner. He's determined to pull his friend back to safety. But his partner has lost all hope. He's begging to be let go, thinking he's just dragging them both down to their deaths. Meanwhile, Su Chen is interrogating the first guy. But even beaten and cornered, this agent refuses to talk, spitting threats instead. They're running out of time. The horde of water ghouls is closing in, ready to finish the job. The ghouls drag one of the agents into the depths, but Su Chen isn't about to let them have him. He unleashes a devastating attack, clearing the way in a flash of light. After a rescue that looked more like a light show, the agent is left completely stunned. He agrees to tell Su Chen everything he knows about who sent them. He reveals the existence of the Federal Bureau of Evolution, a secret government group studying these strange new powers. And it turns out, they've been watching Su Chen for a while now. Okay, so Su Chen is putting 2 and 2 together. He remembers the rat disaster from his past life, started right here at the university. He's starting to think this, Federal Bureau of Evolution, is the key to what's really going on. Getting into the labs is supposedly impossible for regular people. Good thing Su Chen isn't regular people. He's got a plan and it's about to get flashy. Meanwhile, in a completely flooded city, a woman named Duan Ya is surviving on her own. After taking down a zombie, she finds something new and strange, a crystal core. And whatever that crystal core is, it's not going down easy. Duanya is in pure agony, like her entire body is being rewired from the inside out. The agony finally subsides. She survived whatever that was, and now she's left wondering, did it work? She barely has a second to process her potential new powers before reality hits. The floodwaters are rising, and there's something dark and creepy moving just below the surface. The apocalypse kicks off with a bang, or in this case, a citywide flood. The Green City Hotel is officially underwater, and this is just the beginning. Meanwhile, someone else is having a very different kind of day. This looks like a serious power-up. And by power-up, I mean a full-blown, painful transformation. Whatever's happening to her, it's intense. She comes out of it looking different. She has no idea if it worked, but something definitely changed. Just as she's processing her new state, she realizes the floodwaters are rising fast. And she's not alone in there. A sudden gasp. Something's wrong. A bright flash appears out of nowhere. It's not the friendly kind. And there they are. Slimy, toothy tentacles are trying to drag her under. This is not the spa day she was hoping for. She's getting constricted, and her main takeaway is just how disgusting it all is. Honestly, fair. But these things picked the wrong person to mess with. That look in her eye says it's time to fight back. Yeah, that's what she's dealing with, a whole lot of nope right there. One of the creatures latches onto her arm, and it looks like it's trying to drain her power. She's in real trouble now. She's completely overwhelmed and being dragged down. It looks like this might be it for her. Just when she thought it couldn't get worse, an entire army of them shows up. She's caught off guard, but she's not giving up. Back with Su Chen, he's dropping some Apocalypse 101 knowledge. To get powers, you have to kill a monster and consume its crystal nucleus. The pink-haired woman, who we now see as a nurse named Duanya, is confused. She's got the power, but no user manual. Su Chen gives her some simple advice. Just feel it out, and whatever she's feeling, it looks like it's working. Suddenly, a new player enters the game. With a single command, she stops the creatures in their tracks. Duanya is officially over being harassed by these things. She's done asking questions and is ready to start swinging. And she is not messing around. She unleashes her new powers, turning the tide of the fight in an instant. The aftermath is messy. Very, very messy. After the battle, Duanya needs to wash off all the monster guts. She's feeling dirty, and you can't really blame her. She spots Su Chen nearby. After that whole ordeal, she figures it's probably safer to stick with him. Or maybe not. She immediately gets defensive, demanding to know what he's doing in what looks like the women's bathing area. Su Chen, completely unfazed and also completely shirtless, just seems impressed, she thought, to grab a weapon. Her anger quickly melts away into relief. She's just glad he's okay and gives him a hug that could crack ribs. But the relief turns to awkwardness real fast. She notices something firm pressing against her. And then it hits her. Ugh, why are you naked again? His excuse. The water was dirty, so obviously he had to get naked. Her reaction is pretty much what you'd expect. Okay, even in the middle of the apocalypse, you gotta appreciate the simple things. And what's better than a hot bath in your own personal apocalypse-proof bunker? Su Chen is finally getting a moment to breathe, and he's not alone. Turns out, even a guy bent on revenge can appreciate a little company. But relaxation time is over. In this new world, there's one question that matters more than anything else. What can you do? She decides to give him a little demonstration of her own. But Su Chen isn't just anyone. He doesn't just see the trick, he feels it on a whole other level. And yeah, she's a little freaked out. His senses are so sharp, it's like he's hacking the code of her powers. He casually drops that he has some kind of mind control ability. Her first thought? Can it make food taste better? Priorities, I guess. She's not scared though. In fact, she's ready to be the guinea pig for his little experiment. Su Chen's intrigued, but he's not playing games. He wants to know exactly what she's proposing, so she gives it a shot, trying to use her influence on him. But what she finds inside his mind isn't a man, it's a monster, and the psychic backlash nearly breaks her. She realizes just how out of her league she is. The only reason she's still conscious is because Su Chen let her be. And Su Chen? He's just amused. He's seen what she can do, and now it's time for his lesson to begin. His idea of practice is a little more intense than a spa day. Out in the flooded ruins of the city, he's about to put her through the ringer. Their destination, the Green City Hotel, and class is officially in session. First lesson, marksmanship. He's teaching her how to handle a weapon, because you need more than just mind games to survive out here. This isn't just any hotel room, by the way. It's a full-blown virtual reality training ground he built, perfect for practicing without the whole actually dying part. With her training underway, Su Chen turns his attention to his next recruit. It's time to see if they've got what it takes to join his team. Our guy is cruising through the flooded ruins like he's on a weekend getaway, leaving the chaos behind. Duanya, rocking the post-apocalyptic bunny suit chic, got questions for our ever-so-chill protagonist, Su Chen, who seems more interested in his wine. Turns out this isn't just a joyride. Su Chen is back at his old university, hoping to find a friend who might have survived the end of the world. But just as they're getting somewhere, someone hits the brakes. Hard. The welcoming committee has arrived, and just like that, they're here. Judging by Duanya's face, this isn't your average campus tour. Welcome to the university, or what's left of it. It's less, higher learning, and more. Mad Max on water these days, complete with its own makeshift fortress. Before they go any further, Su Chen does a quick scan of the area. Let's just say his eyes see a little more than everyone else's. And right on cue, the locals start shooting. Apparently, they don't get many visitors, but Su Chen's got it covered. He moves in a flash, shielding Duanya from the attack without even breaking a sweat. Up on the wall, the head of security has some questions. He definitely doesn't look like the friendly type. Su Chen knows this place all too well. In his past life, this campus was ground zero for the rise of something called the Mutant Rat King, and he's not about to let that happen again. Su Chen tries to talk his way in, but the guard isn't interested until he spots Duanya. Suddenly, he's got a whole new set of priorities, and none of them are good. But Duanya knows how to play the game. In a world this starved, a plate of perfectly braised pork is the ultimate bargaining chip. And it works. The guard completely loses his mind over the promise of real meat, ordering his subordinate to open the gate immediately. The gate is opening. All they have to do is park the boat and hand over the goods. Of course, the guard has no intention of sharing with his crew. This guy's got a one-track mind, and it's paved with pork. But this place holds dark memories for Su Chen. Visions of sinister power, monstrous transformations, and people just trying to escape the horror. Inside, the situation is grim. A guy named Lu Tao is trying to keep morale up, reminding the starving survivors that as long as they have food, they have a chance. Su Chen isn't here to join a commune, though. He immediately sets the record straight. They don't have food, he has food, and he's the one in charge now. But as Su Chen lays down the law, Lu Tao starts to look unwell. He's dizzy, stumbling. Something's definitely not right with him. Meanwhile, Duanya finds a little girl, clearly weak from hunger. It's a harsh reminder of what daily survival looks like for most people here. She offers the kid a piece of bread. It's a small treasure in this broken world, and a simple act of kindness. But the little girl hesitates, worried that if she eats, her new friend will go hungry. Even at the end of the world, some people haven't lost their heart. Seeing this, Su Chen decides to solve the problem his way. Forget a slice of bread. He summons an entire hot pot feast out of thin air, shocking everyone. The little girl is still a bit overwhelmed by all the food. Duanya has to be a little firm just to get her to take a bite. But just as they're about to enjoy a real meal for the first time in forever, Su Chen's focus shifts. He's noticed something, and there it is. The camp's resident thugs are shaking down another survivor, accusing them of hiding food. They can smell the hot pot, and they know someone's breaking their rules. They're not happy about it, and they're coming to investigate. The little girl is terrified, but Duanya tries to keep her calm. She knows a confrontation is coming. The thugs are on their way, looking for a fight. But Su Chen isn't worried. He just gives a calm, simple nod, ready for whatever happens next. Just as Su Chen is getting his bearings, someone shouts him down. You can almost feel the sound wave hitting him from off-panel. But who's got the nerve to interrupt him now? It's Duanya, and she looks completely over it. She knows these guys are just desperate and hungry, and she's not afraid to call them out on it. And then, her eyes start to glow. That's the look of someone who's about to drop the mic, telling them to enjoy what's coming next. Turns out, what's coming next is a full-on barbecue feast that appears out of nowhere. The survivors completely lose their minds, going from threatening cannibals to kids in a candy store in about 2 seconds flat.